The first thing they do is increase the price of oil. When you increase the price of oil, you cause inflation. And when you cause inflation, thank you, Jesus, but I get richer. The rich get richer with inflation. Unfortunately, for those who are the working class, the employees, the middle class, you pay higher taxes. And as you know, I don't pay taxes legally. It makes life almost impossible for the poor. You know, the poor go to the store, you know, and what they were paying $5 for is now $7. And then they demand higher wages. And the more higher the wages, the less competitive America gets as a capitalist nation. So with that, I'm very honored to have a dear friend of mine, one of the smartest people I know is Nomi Prins. If you want to find out what's going on in the central banks, and so that's why you should listen to this program. At the end of the program, sign up so you can take action because they're ripping us off. So welcome to the program, Nomi. But I'm just going to tell people what I know, and I invite you to say what you know because you've traveled the world. Could you tell us what you found out of why you traveled the world to see the central banks, visit the central banks? He's talking about here, if I produce this marker here, I'm producing a product and I sell it. That's money. But they don't even have to produce this. They just produce the money.
Right.
And again, is what Nomi is talking about is 1913 was the Federal Reserve Act, but it was also the start of the IRS.
Right.
Because the dollar and taxes go hand in hand. And so that's why I say the rich get richer, the middle class pays more taxes, and the poor starve because food is a tangible asset. And, you know, I have more than enough money, but I'm in shock. I was at Safeway last night going, how do people afford this stuff? So that's why, I love and trust Nomi because she understands how the central banks operate, and central banks, I mean, isn't central banking more Marxist than capitalist, Nomi? What's happening to America? So that's why I have tremendous respect for Nomi because she doesn't talk about it. She worked on Wall Street, she traveled the world, she knows how they play the game. And the game is rigged against the middle class and the poor. And the middle class is soft. I've never seen so many soft people in all my life. I've never seen students who complain if I say something that triggers them. I'm just shocked. So the point here is this, the reason I want to talk to people is it's not that I recommend real estate.
So
the stock market comes down and you guys are all young, it wipes out the old guys, the baby boomers. Because the stock market was only the game after 1974 when the 401k was invented. So we have 60 million, baby boomers in America and throughout the world, because you see the world. If they raise their prices, all these RRSPs in Canada, superannuations in Australia, and 401ks and IRAs in America, they get toasted. And the way I see it, because I'm a pessimist, I'm a Marine pilot, the way I see it, my generation, the boomers, they had the easiest of all generations. When Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard, there was inflation in 71. The baby boomers got rich really easily. The stock market crashes. My generation, the boomers, they're homeless. They're going to move in with their kids. So that's why we have Rich Dad's coaching, and that's why I love having you on the program, because you have taken action. You have traveled the world. You're not an academic who sits in a classroom. Wait.
Right.
Because I think you know it and I know it. And inflation makes me richer, thank God. It makes the middle class pay more taxes because they're the ones who pay the taxes. But the thing I'm concerned about is the gap between the poor and everybody else increases.
That's right.
But you better take education. And what's going to happen is if the stock market will crash and many of the fat and dumb baby boomers of my generation will become poor. And that's I hate to say it, I hate to be pessimistic, but I'd rather be prepared. Like if I tell you there's a tornado coming, you'd say, oh, he's just being a pessimist. And I started this whole thing with a pitch. We have coaching. My Rich Dad was my coach. He was my mentor. He slapped my head so many times. He goes, you stupid son of a bitch. Do this, do that. But you can't think because my poor dad was like Marx, academic. So if you think this is an ordinary time in history, wake up. Because that's why I recommend you sign up for coaching and learn about real estate. So, this is not an ordinary time. And the reason I trust and respect Nomi so much is because she takes action. She doesn't stand in a classroom until I was in my 30s. And so all professionals have coaches. Amateurs don't. Like even Tiger Woods, greatest golfer on earth, had a coach. And amateurs don't because they think they can save money. So that's my way of saying you'll be given an opportunity to step it up. You can listen to all the data in the world, but if you don't do something different, you don't hire a coach, then you're wasting your time and my time for just bringing this program to you. We're in a very the reason I'm on it today is we're in a crucial time. In many ways, we're at the end of what we know as the American empire. So if you're going to sit here and just have, an entertaining time, like my family, this is so entertaining, I got so much data, but you don't do anything different, then you're wasting my time and your time, and you're probably going to get smashed in the next few years. You'll have an opportunity to sign up for what I call coaching, because my rich dad was my coach. He was my mentor. All professionals have mentors. So if you're just going to sit there and listen and take the data in, then you may as well join the rest of my family, because they're not doing anything different. They live in a little bandwidth, a little happy little bandwidth, making 100,000 a year. The Federal Reserve Bank is ripping us off blind. And you sit there, I got such good information today. You're wasting your time and your family's time. So with that said, end of this program, we'll be talking about how you can step it up and take some action that's different, because I am quite adamant about this. So the reason we have this coaching programs available to you is so that you can take action. You can do something different. Even when I was flying in Vietnam, we had coaches. We had advanced pilots teaching us how to fly better. That's how we survived. So I'm adamant about this. I'm sick and tired of talking to people who just soak in data, but don't do anything different. So I'm happy to say I've made more money than ever before this year. I hope you have too. But if you haven't, you better do something different. I've never made so much money this year than ever before. So anyway, this is not an ordinary time. So we're a very special guest today. A dear friend of mine, I got through school sitting next to the smartest girl in the class. And her name was Sylvia. And I was sat next to Sylvia. And, every time they needed an answer, I leaned over and I asked Sylvia. In school, that's called cheating.